Greetings, gathered and scattered. Bobby here. Great to have the opportunity to talk about the things that God's been laying on my heart and some of the things we've been talking about in worship. And so here's how it all begins. What will you do today? Maybe you've already been through your day and you're watching this video in the evening, and the question should really be, what have you done today? How did you decide what you would do today? Or how will you decide what you're going to do today? The truth of it is that we make choices. Will you make choices? Will you bear the attitudes? Will you live the life that honors God today? That's the cool thing, because God in His sovereignty has given you the opportunity to plan your day. So what will you do today? Now I know some people are going to say, well, I got to go to school. Or some people will say, well, I got to go to work. Well, no, the truth is you don't have to. I remember as a teenager, when I got that driver's license and I left the house in the morning, the people who said I had to go to school, they were not driving my car. So I could drive it anywhere I wanted to. And dare I say, there were a couple of days that I didn't drive it to the school. And when you say, I got to go to work today, well, why? No, you can live on the street. You can eat out of trash cans. So I know those are extreme examples. But here's what I want you to understand about all this. God, and I've already said it, but here it goes again. God in His sovereignty has given you the opportunity to make choices, to plan your day, to live your life. How do you decide? How do you plan those choices? When you wake up in the morning, this is one of the things that we've been challenged week in and week out around the gathering for the last few months. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? When you begin your day, do you take into consideration honoring God? Or do you just sort of stumble into it kind of haphazardly? Whatever comes, that's what I'm doing. Or do you have an agenda? Do you have a plan? Do you make a purposeful decision in and with your life to honor God? The Bible talks about two directions. Choices, paths, two journeys. What I've shared this Sunday in worship comes from 1 Peter, and the title of all the messages from 1 Peter is These Things. These things are important things. These things that we have, that we are in Jesus Christ, are important things. So important that even angels long to get a glimpse of these things. And then we see, as Peter starts moving through his letter, that in the world around us, we have options, choices. Will we live by the standards of the world, the flesh, or we live by the standards that God has set for us? Jesus said it this way, and this is really the focus of this little video and the opportunity for you to talk about your choices, to talk about your priorities, to talk about the way you decide to live and plan your day, really your life. Matthew 7, verses 13 and 14 say this: Enter through the narrow gate. For the gate is wide and the road broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who go through it. Consider that verse a minute before I read verse 14. Here you go. Enter through the narrow gate. The very fact that Jesus is telling us to enter through the narrow gate indicates we have a choice as to whether or not we enter through it. We know Jesus is the gate. He says He's the gate to the sheepfold. We know Jesus is the gate, and that we're to enter through the gate through faith in Jesus Christ. For the gate is wide and the road. Now the road, what road? This path that we lead in our lives, this path that we follow in our lives is broad, that leads to destruction, and many go through that gate that is wide and broad. And yet Jesus in verse 14 points out how narrow is the gate and difficult the road that leads to life, and few find it. What will you do today? How will you make those choices? how will you decide to honor God today with your life? Have a discussion about how you can choose to honor God in every area of your life today. Take care. Have a blessed day.